Hey, my friend, it is Heather Dunlop this morning, and what I want to share with you today is day 2 out of 5 on assertiveness. So, yesterday we talked about the difference between being assertive and being aggressive, whereas assertive is really just standing your ground and standing up for your beliefs, versus aggressive is someone who's really kind of going at everybody and wants to take over and kind of just get their way all the time. It doesn't matter what happens with anybody else, they just don't care. They're going to go in there and they're going to kind of really push and shove, and you can feel their aggression. You can feel when someone's being aggressive. That's not assertiveness. Assertiveness is standing your ground and standing up for who you are and your beliefs, right? So today what we're going to talk about on day 2 is setting your boundaries. Now, one of the very most important things you need to do to set your boundaries is you have to value yourself. It's extremely important that you hold yourself in high esteem, because when you value yourself, then it's easy to be assertive. It's easy to stand up for your beliefs. If you don't value yourself and you think you're not worthy, or why would somebody listen to me, or I don't deserve that, or I don't deserve to have an opinion, kind of a thing, you're going to get rolled over again and again and again and again. And you've probably felt that in life. Someone who is a bully is easily going to kind of push their way through and get what they want with you. And you might just go along with it because you are of the mind that it's easier to go along and get along. Well, if you just go along and get along, you're never going to get what you actually want. And to get what you want out of your life, because remember, this is your life, you need to find some assertiveness. So value yourself, because you're worthy of having an opinion. You're worthy of setting boundaries based on what you want and where you want to go. So how do you set some boundaries? Well, in a relationship, you can say, hey, these are a couple of the basic rules that I believe in. These are a couple of the basic things about how we should treat each other, because I want you to treat me the way I want to be treated. Not the way other people want to be treated, not the way you think I want to be treated. I'm telling you how I want to be treated, and I want you to do that for me, because that will make me feel loved and respected. Right? So how do you do that? Let's say, for example, you're in a relationship and you like oranges and the other person likes apples. And they think by giving you apples, they're showing you how much they love and care about you. And they give you apples and they give you apples and they give you apples. And you're like, gosh, I can't stand apples. I really don't like apples. I just don't like the color red. I don't like the crunch. I just don't like apples. And he keeps giving me apples. Why are you giving me apples? Because to them, that's showing love. And you're not setting your boundaries. You're not being assertive and saying, hey, you know what love feels like to me? Love feels like when you give me oranges. So could you please give me oranges? And then all of a sudden, boom, they give you orange after orange after orange. And you're like, oh my gosh, this is wonderful. They love me so much because they're giving me oranges. They're treating me the way I asked to be treated. So to be assertive and set your boundaries, let other people know what works for you, and also let them know what does not work for you. There is some middle ground where it's like, I really don't care. It doesn't matter either way. It's not going to impact me either way. It's not something that I deeply care about. When it comes to something you deeply care about, set your boundaries and stand up for them. And you have to remind yourself sometimes. I went through that recently where I forgot to remind myself what my boundaries are. So that boundary line kept getting pushed further and further and further until I got to a point where it was like, how did I even get here? How? Okay, now it's time to reset my boundaries. Okay, I'm an assertive person. I'm going to go after what I want for my life, and I'm going to set some boundaries here. So that can happen at work too. So let's say, for example, you're at work, and we used the example yesterday about working late, and you're asked to work late. And you just say, okay, and next thing you know, you're the only one there. 2 hours has gone by. You haven't had dinner. It's dark and rainy and nasty outside. Everybody else is left, and you're there by yourself. And you're like, why am I sitting here by myself doing this work alone? It doesn't make sense. What if you decided to be assertive in that situation in the future and you said, hey, I can give you 30 minutes. That's it. 30 minutes, and then I got to go. I'm done. They then take that information and make a better decision. They say, okay, sounds great. Or no, okay. Or they might say, hey, you know what? That project's actually going to take 2 hours. Let's see if I can get someone else to help as well. Right? That's another alternative you could put up. You could say, hey, I can give you 30 minutes. Can you bring in a couple other people to help so we can all get it done together and not one of us is suffering by ourselves? Do that. Take that approach. But set your boundaries because you are worthy of having boundaries. You're worthy of standing up for your boundaries. And you're worthy of defending your boundaries. Not in a mean or nasty way, just kindly say, hey, that's not something that works for me right now. Okay. You get your point across. You do it in a manner that's kind. It's not cruel or anything. It's just, hey, I'm standing up for myself. So if you're having trouble doing this, try it like in the grocery line. Go into the grocery and, you're in a line, there's lots of people and everybody's trying to rush and rush and rush and rush. And they're like, hey, can I cut in front of you? I just got 2 things. So you know what? I'd love to, but I can't do that right now. I'm going to rush myself. And just leave it at that. Don't worry about filling in the gaps. Don't have to explain yourself. You could just stand there and say, hey, no, that's not working for me. I'm not going to let you cut in front of me. And they'll go, oh my gosh. She said no. Yeah, you said no. That's what you want. You want to set your boundaries and you want to let other people know what your boundaries are. Because when you do, you're going to live a much more fulfilling life and you're going to allow your values to become the forefront of your life, what you want for yourself, that desired life you want to live. You're not going to get to that desired life without having a few boundaries. You're not going to get there if you're wishy-washy and you just kind of go with the flow. It's not going to happen. Because if you go with the flow, you're taking someone else's path. Right? When you're assertive, you set your own course. You say, hey, this is where I'm going. And I've got a plan to get there. And I believe I can get there. And I'm going to stand up to make sure that I get there. I'm going to defend my boundaries. I'm going to stop those detractors from coming in and trying to cut me off and getting in my way. I'm going to make sure it happens because I've become an assertive person and I've set my boundaries and I believe that I'm worthy of having boundaries and I'm going for my desired life. So go ahead, set your boundaries. This is Heather, and if this is resonating with you, you want to work with me, give me a call. Get on my calendar. I'm going to put a link below. Just book a quick 15-minute call. Let's take this a level deeper. Let's get to your values and let's help you understand exactly what your values are and where you are and are not willing to compromise. Because that's going to help you become more assertive and get to your desired life and to live your desired life. So book a 15-minute call. Let's go a level deeper. This is Heather Dunlop, and always, always, always remember, you have strength within you.